All right, peace. So I'm just laying back. It is October 3rd. This is the day after the sentencing of Amber Guyger. This is the white woman cop that shot and murdered Botham Jean from St. Lucia, who was residing in Dallas, Texas. Uh, Supposedly came home from a 13-hour work shift and allegedly drove up to the rooftop of the parking deck, which is a one deck higher than her parking level. Uh, Entered the apartment complex and entered his apartment, which was directly one level above her apartment. Uh, Supposedly, she put her key in the lock, but the door was ajar, and you know, basically, she felt that there was another presence there, and rather than retreating, exiting, closing the door, leaving, calling for backup, calling for assistance, calling for police, she decided to continue to enter into the apartment, um, withdraw her firearm from her holster, and shot and murdered both of Jean. And from here, we arrive October 2nd, 2019, uh, with a guilty verdict from the jury. Okay. And they sentenced her to 10 years. Now, uh, this sentencing phase of the Amber Guyger trial has been one of very much, what's the best way to describe what I've been seeing? I've been looking at a lot of the social media, a lot of the online internet um, postings and responses, and a lot of people are rightfully so disturbed. Um, you have a lot of people. Well, she was sentenced to 10 years, and a lot of people's concern is that, with good behavior and X, Y, and Z, and parole by five, she could probably be out by five or a little less years served. Whereas Botham Jean is permanently gone. He is dead, and he will no longer be able to redeem his life on this earth, and his family and friends can no longer redeem his presence and enjoy his presence on earth. Now, let's go back to where we were. Now we've seen this black woman officer of the court who was, um, she, as Amber Guyger was going through the sentencing part of her trial, this black woman officer was straightening Amber Guyger's hair and making sure that she was comfortable and fine and looking presentable, looking well kept, glamorized her, beautified her, and then went back into her court officer position. She was, as a officer of the court, you are not hired, you are not paid, it is not in your job description to beautify, glamorize, or maintain the aesthetic appearance of the defendant on trial. Your job is to make sure that people do not violate the rules and laws of the court while court is in session, preparing for session, in session, or ending session, is to provide safety to both the defendant, safety to the defendant, um, to the prosecuting team, to the jurors, and to the judge, and to all those that are in court. That is the job, and to maintain order, not the glamorization and fixing of hair and making sure that the defendant is aesthetically appealing for those to see. But yet, this is what this black woman did. Um, we also saw that the brother of both of them, Jean, got on stand to give post trial uh, impact testimony, um, and how he felt about the trial. And basically, he got on stand and told Amber Guyger that he loved her. He barely knows her at all. He does not know her. Said that he loved her. He prays that, there is some solace, some peace, some reconciliation that she can find, and that the Lord forgives her, that he loves her. Then he asked the judge for a moment in which he can hug her, and that was very strange. It was very weird. It was this is something that has never ever been seen before. His wish was granted. He hugged her, and this was very weird, and we're gonna get into that. Now, after that was all done, the judge came down, and of course, the judge is supposed to be impartial during the trial. After the trial, I guess the judge is free to do what she wishes or he wishes. The judge, who's a black woman, comes down. She hugs, greets, gives words of encouragement, peace, solace, reconciliation to the family of both of them, Jean. And then after that, she walks over to Amber Guyger and hugs her, gives her the same treatment. All right, hug and words of encouragement and X, Y, and Z. So now you look at social media, and I mean, when I say black social media is blowing up in anger, frustration, infuriation. Um, One, a lot of people are like, look, why are the courtroom officer that decided to straighten out the hair of Amber Guyger? One, that is Amber Guyger is the defendant. She is the person that intruded on Botham Jean's apartment and killed him wrongfully. Um, did you bring yourself, and I'm asking the black woman officer, did you bring yourself across the other end of the courtroom where Botham Jean's mother is, where Botham Jean's father is, where Botham Jean's brother is, and the rest of Botham Jean's family? And did you offer to straighten out Botham Jean's mother's hair and make sure that her outfit is neatly assembled? Did you make sure that the collar and the blazer that Botham Jean's father was wearing was neat, and that his family looked aesthetically pleasing to the court, and that they seemed okay? No, you somehow brought yourself to coddle and to provide comfort and peace and pleasure to Amber Guyger. First of all, your job is not to have any bias or loyalty. Yours is strictly of protection. But now that you already broke code, if you're going to break code and provide solace, peace, reconciliation, and all the other good words that you can think of for people that are in a stressful, emotional situation in which death is involved and incarceration is involved, why don't you display the same acts towards the actual family of the victim? But you're willing to do that to the actual murderer. Moving along, you have the brother that says, "Look, I wish you all the peace and that God is with you, and I'm a Christian, and da 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 da, and all of that." But now here's the other question. You ask the judge, "Can I hug her?" And I love her, and I cannot hug her. Not once did you hear Amber Guyger ask the judge. She's already been sentenced. She has nothing to lose. Not once did you hear Amber Guyger say, "Can I hug Botham Jean's mother? Botham Jean's father? Can I hug Botham Jean's brother? And that I love them. And that, yes, I'm truly sorry, but I just really want to make sure that before I go into this 10-year sentence, that I actually can hug you and beg for your mercy and truly plead that I'm sorry. Can I hug you? Can I ask you?" No. You have the brother beseeching the mercy and authorization of the judge to somehow be of comfort to Amber Guyger. Then we move on to the judge. Nothing much more to really be said. The judge is supposed to be impartial, but at the same time, the trial is over. If anything, this black woman judge knows the litany of names and the atrocities of the slaughter of black United States citizens at the hands of law enforcement. And yet you still act as if we are the same. You give this law enforcement officer the same treatment that you gave Botham Jean's family. You see no difference, and this is the problem. But we do know, we have the photos, we see and understand that this same judge is also getting endorsements and accolades and contributions from the Dallas Police Department, the police union. So, with that being said, we already know what that card is about. And with that said, I'm out. This is just some late night before I go to bed thoughts.